video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Classics Thunder Punch He-Man from Articulation.com. As you can see, nice white mailing box as we always have. And I find it interesting that one of the new little features that we have that I highlight, just to kind of break up the monotony of these white mailers, is the weird-ass extra phrase and names and stuff here on the bottom. This one particularly says, "Fighting Foemen." Ooh, scary white mailer. So come around here. Again, let's see if there's tissue paper or if there's some more cost-cutting going on. And certainly looks like there is no tissue paper. So apparently, Matty Collector is getting cheap with this kind of stuff, and the adult collectors, it doesn't matter anymore. And honestly, that really does kind of bug me, because you could see that I had to really pull this out, and for mint-on-box collectors, in doing so, you could potentially scrape this up. Which I'm sure, you know, people would complain about. I know that I am, so I have no idea. Now, Thunder Punch He-Man was always a real fun character for me. I actually had this figure when I was a kid, and it was actually one of the only variants of He-Man that I actually did have as a child. So I'm really happy to have this. You can see beautiful package on here. We always love those. You flip around here on the back. You got other figures that are in the line. Zooming in here that says Thunder Punch He-Man. And obviously his real name is Adam of the House of Randor. When Skeletor banished Randor to Despondos, he used Faker to convince the royal court that He-Man was not only a Gar, but also responsible for the king's death. This ruse turned the people of Eternia against He-Man, and he and the Masters soon became renegades in their own land. Driven to the underground caves of Tundaria, sounds like something from Thundercats, the Masters reformed as an elite attack squad. They returned to the surface and found not only Skeletor ruling Eternia, but King Hiss and a newly returned Hordak also challenging for control. To enhance his strength for these new battles ahead, He-Man used the powers of Grayskull to energize his weapons, giving them a new Thunder Punch to combat evil. Really kind of cool bio on here. I really like how they incorporate that. Really exciting. Flip around here on the other side though, and you see one of the other things is that they've brought back the mini comic, as you can kind of see inside there. I'm actually really excited about that. I love the whole cap thing. This is just in general a really kind of fun figure for me, so I'm really actually excited about it. So let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Thunder Punch He-Man open up and out of its packaging. And as you can see, this is kind of what I've more or less decided how I'm going to have him displayed. Like he's punching down on the ground. I just think that's awesome looking. Now one thing that I want to talk about first is this little mini comic book. Now one thing that I want to tell you guys, if you do open this, you have to actually be really kind of careful. If you don't want to bend this or ruin the comic, you have to be very careful when you remove it, because as you can see, what Matty did was they put kind of like a sticky tape all the way down on both sides. So when you take it off, you kind of have to pull it and almost bend it when you're removing it. I really would have preferred if they just kind of taped it on there just with like Scotch tape or something, as opposed to using this. Because in pulling this off, you can see it rips off the back of the card. So, I mean, it's almost like a glue sort of thing, but just open this up. I mean, and this, how is this on here? Yeah, this is really kind of, I mean, you're watching this, and you really, in order to get this, you're really almost gonna damage it. Here we go. The tape is just, even I don't know, maybe even Scotch tape would have sucked. So use a cutter or something to be very careful when you're doing it, so that you don't ruin this or anything like that. But I mean, God, I just don't really want to damage the comic book inside of it, and this kind of, the way that they package this really kind of sucks. All right, here we go. And you can kind of see that now it's a little bit bent because of it. But here we have the first of a Part 3 saga from Dark Horse Comics, The Powers of Grayskull, The Legend Begins. And I'm not going to go all the way through it, but you can see some really nice kind of artwork. Story by Scott Knightlick, so that's kind of cool. So he wrote the story for this. Oh wait, there's a Preternia He-Man right there. That's kind of cool. You got the Snake Men going on, Skeletor. Some more Preternia, Snake Men, things like that. Come around here and it says it's to be continued. So it's a fairly short comic, but I do like it in MattyCollector.com. So that's actually really kind of cool. And when it comes to the figure, the first thing that a lot of people are going to notice right off the bat is that he's a much lighter skin tone than the previously released versions of He-Man. Now, as you can see, here this guy is, and here's the original version of He-Man, or more specifically, the re-release version. And as you can see, there's a huge difference in skin tone. I mean, this guy is nice and tan, this guy is really kind of pale. Now, in the actual read-up for the guy and the bio and things of that nature, it does say that, you know, He-Man and the Masters were underground, so that kind of makes sense, and some people have said that that really kind of explains why he's more of a tan-less figure. And I do like that. I kind of subscribe to that whole idea. Now, in terms of his accessories, obviously he's got this whole punching thing, which, you know, whoosh, looks like he's punching. Honestly, while I like this, the color for it really kind of looks like a big booger. I don't know what else to really refer to it as. I mean, it's kind of this yellow translucent bit, but this really looks like a booger. Now, he does come with the power sword, which also looks like a booger. I mean, I like the coloring. It's not bad. I mean, this definitely has a kind of cool, energized look to it. And then when you compare it to the original sword, you know, obviously they're the exact same sword, just a different kind of material. But, I mean, I do like this. Definitely gives that kind of energized look. It's just, I don't know, maybe if they, like, found a way to put glitter in it or something. I don't know. It's throwing me off because it's booger colored, so I don't know. And he also comes with this vacuum metallized or vac metallized whatever chrome shield, which is actually really kind of nice and definitely resembles how it looked in the original vintage toy. Now, one thing that's very cool that they thought to include, that they didn't need to include this, and it's actually kind of a pain in the butt to get out of here. You gotta wiggle it a lot, is it actually comes with a cap. Well, a fake kind of cap. Now, you younger kids might not know what this is, but when I was a kid, I don't know if they make them still nowadays, but what you could do is they actually put, like, I don't know, some kind of powder or something in there. I don't want to say it was gunpowder, but it was something else. And you actually put these, like, mostly in cap guns. They had really realistic looking handguns and things of that nature. And you would put this in there, and then you would pull the trigger, and then it would pop. It would make a snapping kind of sound, fairly loud. Now, the actual vintage toy, what you would do with it would be you'd come around here to the back, and this also has it. You can take this, open this up, you can put this inside here, and now this actually doesn't work, but on the vintage toy, what would happen would you put it like this, and then you'd rotate his waist around, and then it would spring back, and it would make that cap exploding sound. And it was kind of weird because it was like, hear the sound, feel the thunder, or something like that. That's how the actual commercial for it was, which was really kind of weird, but I love the fact that they actually included that. Really nice detail on here. This little bit rotates. It doesn't do anything. I wonder if I... and if you take it down here, yeah, if you take it down here, that whole thing on the inside kind of rotates. So that's actually kind of cool. Now, one of the other kind of differences that you're going to notice is that his wrist guards are the exact same on both sides, whereas He-Man's, he's got one like this and then one that's a little bit different. The other thing that I'm noticing is that Thunder Punch He-Man has basically a different kind of neck. Now, to kind of illustrate that, I'm going to remove this. Now, this is actually a little bit tricky to remove. You have to remove it like so, but definitely be careful because these are hard plastic, and in putting them in here, you could stress these out. And actually, if you look really carefully, that little bit is already getting stressed out from the one time that I took this off prior to shooting this video. So you definitely want to be careful with that, guys. And then the armor just slips out of his arms just like so, and I'm going to set that off to the side for right now. Now, doing the same thing for the original He-Man, you can definitely see that there's a different neck going on here. I don't exactly know which body they're using for this, but you can see that his neck kind of goes forward on an angle, kind of giving him a little bit more of a hunched look, whereas this one stands nice and tall. Now, obviously, I mean, I could probably, I could straighten it out if I go like this, but, I mean, this guy's chest isn't all that pronounced. I mean, let me see if I can get this angled just right. I mean, that looks like it's about accurate. You can definitely see that the neck seems to jut forward a little bit. Not too terribly much, but just enough that it kind of makes his head look kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Are you guys seeing that too? Let me know. Please tell me, because I hope I'm not crazy when I'm looking at it. And then again, just like the actual shield, he's got this vac metallized look on here, which I don't necessarily know if I like it very much. This whole chrome bit kind of makes me a little bit nervous that it can flake off at some point in time. I mean, this is a very hard, rigid plastic, so it's not going to be flexible. But, I don't know, I'm just afraid if it gets bumped, it might actually scrape it. And actually, I can already see a little dot right up in here that already is flaked away, just from maybe contact or something. But, I mean, I like the way it looks, but I don't think that this is the right way to go about it. Now, to put it back on, you just slip this on, bring this arm up, put your clothes on, He-Man, running around half naked and stuff. Now the other aspect of it, because of the way that this is designed, I mean, this kind of fits along his back very nicely, but this bit right here really kind of jets out. I mean, you can definitely see that there's a big gap here, and then you just kind of, because of the way the hooks are, you have to kind of push one up, and then again, be very careful. I don't like taking this off at all. It really does kind of make me nervous that the little peg is going to snap off at some point in time. There we go. Nope, that side completely came off. So, I mean, this is a bit of a pain in the butt to get on there. And, golly gee. Okay, so there we have it back on. But you can definitely see that, you know, there's a lot of gap here, which kind of keeps it away from his body, which it's not too terribly bad, but it's kind of weird, I guess. And then obviously the other difference is that he's got an actual regular fist as opposed to the open fist here, and that's because you take this little guy and it's kind of molded in a certain way. You just kind of stick it inside there, just like so, and now you have his punch effect, which I do like it. I love the way it looks. Maybe the color is a little bit weird, but I do really love the way that looks. And then because of the nature of the way the hands are, this is the only hand that he can hold a sword in. And then with the shield, one kind of thing that has me kind of bummed out is that because they have this particular wrist guard here, you can't really put it over it. I mean, you can, but again, it stretches out the actual clasp, and then you can't put it up on the forearm because that's thicker. You have to put it right here at the wrist. I don't know if that's the way that it's intended to be, but I definitely don't want to put it here because that could scrape the paint on the actual wrist guard, and then I can't put it there because it's too thick, and I don't want to risk breaking the actual connector. So that's where you pretty much got to put it. Now, in general, like I said, I love this character. This is definitely a figure that I had as a kid, and I absolutely loved having. Some of the execution decisions on this, I think, are kind of eh. I love the look of this chrome on here, or the vac metallized look. I love it, but I definitely think it's something that they could have done in a different way. How, I don't know. Maybe actually using chrome. Because basically what they're just doing is, well, I don't know, this might be all the way chrome, but this is just kind of like painted over the actual red molded plastic, it seems. So these are kind of my biggest concerns. Now the other problem is this backpack. I'm not going to be taking this backpack off, or this whole chest piece. I'm not going to take that off, just because the clasps on here really make me nervous. Now I love certain things, such as the little cap feature, the fact that they included that. Absolutely awesome. I do wish that they included two of them. That way I could have one stored in here and one stored there. Just kind of as a nostalgic factor, I suppose, because usually when you got these, it came with several of them. So clipping that on here, I guess I'll probably keep it on here just so you can actually see it, or I can actually see it and reminisce, I suppose. I love the way that the sword looks. The coloring, again, is kind of weird, and the whole punch effect, I think, is absolutely awesome. I really think that this is a very nice figure and a wonderful variant to the He-Man characters that we've already gotten. Now, as I said, this is available only through MattyCollector.com, and that being the case, it's unfortunately already sold out. So your best bet to pick this guy up would be eBay or Big Bad Toy Store. But I definitely think if you're a Masters of the Universe Classics fan, you're probably going to like this guy. He's really kind of fun and definitely gives you that old school feel. So without a doubt, guys, I highly recommend him. So until next time, guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.